beautiful people of the internet. My name is Ellie and bienvenidos to my YouTube channel. Today's video is going to be my tentative TBR for the month of April. If you've been following me for a while, you know that I'm a huge mood reader, so I tend to fail TBRs if I set them, but I'm going to give myself some leeway. These are some of the ones that I'm thinking about reading that are on top of my TBR list. If you're interested in finding out which ones I want to read for the month of April, go ahead and keep on watching. So I'm being very ambitious for the month of April, but seeing as how I read a pretty good amount in March, I'm hoping I'll be able to get to all of these books. Right now, I don't know why, but this whole climate of staying at home and being in self-isolation, I have been drawn to, out of all things, horror and thriller books. Those are what are comforting me right now. So that's mainly what I'm focusing on this TBR. Yeah, don't ask me why. The first book that's on this tentative pile is Wilder Girls by Rory Power. In this book, we follow our main character who is in an all-girls school, and there happens to be an outbreak of a virus or something of the sort that they call the tox, which ended up killing all of the faculty in the school and seems to have poisoned the surrounding areas of the school. And it isn't until one of the main character's friends goes missing that she decides that she is willing to take on whatever this tox is to go find her friend. And things just spiral from there. They're in quarantine and there's an outbreak of some sort of virus or disease that happens. So smart. I know. I'm great. I have been wanting to read this book for so long, and like I said, right now the darker, spookier things are what's comforting me at the moment, so I want to go ahead and hopefully get to this soon. I've heard a lot of mixed reviews on this book. A lot of people don't like the gore that's in it. A lot of other people think that the storyline was just fantastic, so we'll see where I land. The next two books are by the same author, and I'm going to be honest with you, they are one of my auto-buy authors. I bought these books without even knowing what the premise for them are because I love this author so much. The Never Tilting World and Wicked As You Wish by Rinchi Pecco. These two are YA fantasies. When I saw that she had these two coming out, I bought them and I did not even care what they were about just because I wanted to support Rin. So in the Never Tilting World, there is a legend where there have been twin goddesses who have ruled the world for many generations until there's always the one, that defied her status and ended up splitting up the world, which is known as the Great Divide. And one part of the world is filled with scorching sun and sand, while the other is ice and ocean. Because of the split, these twin goddesses now each have their own hemisphere to rule, and in the story we follow these two twin goddesses and their daughters, and how there is a prophecy that comes about where the goddess's daughters have to go to the Great Divide to try and fix the world. Goddesses, I'm in. It sounds very fantastical, and if you know Rin's writing, she is very, very good at building worlds. I'm intrigued. In Wicked As You Wish, there is a kingdom called Avalon where a snow queen has come and corrupted the land, which has made those who have run away refugees. And this is where a crown prince comes in, and he is hiding in Arizona. And it isn't until a legendary creature appears that he has hope that there is a chance to redeem and save his kingdom. So him and a close friend of his end up finding a group of people to help him get back his throne in Avalon. Just the fact that this includes legendary creatures and a crown prince hiding in Arizona from a magical kingdom. Can't wait to read this. These next two books are from another auto-buy author of mine, and This is a continuation of a series that I started, and it was one of my favorite series of 2018. The continuation of The Shadow of the Fox by Julie Kagawa. This is Soul of the Sword and Night of the Dragon. It is finally complete. Night of the Dragon came out the end of March, on March 31st, and I can't wait to dive back into this world following Yumeko and Tatsumi. It's basically an anime in a book form. Yumeko is half human, half kitsune, which is a fox. She has fox powers and she can also turn into a fox whenever she needs to. And Tatsumi is part of the Shadow Clan, who is trying their hardest to get their hands on a piece of a legendary scroll, which once completed every 1,000 years, it awakes a legendary dragon, which will grant you whatever wish you want. And for the past couple centuries, this wish has gone to not the best of people. So both Yumeko and Tatsumi have their own reasons for wanting these pieces of scroll, and they are the unlikeliest of teammates when they are forced to travel together, and they end up finding a lot of friends along the way that end up joining them in their travels. I want to continue this series so bad because the way that Shadow of the Fox ended was just wow. I just need to know what happens. So I want to get to these two this month for sure. And I am hoping to buddy read this with a friend of mine here on BookTube. Hopefully we'll be able to buddy read these together. If not, I for sure want to get back into this world to see what happens. The next book on my tentative TBR list is The Lovely War by Jolie Berry. I blame Riley and Heather for me picking up this book. I will leave everybody that I talk about down below so you can go check them out as well. For the longest time, I thought this book was just a historical fiction, and I don't tend to read a lot of historical fiction. But basically in this book, Aphrodite has to plead her case to Zeus in Mount Olympus, and she is basically telling the love story that happens between 4 individuals. It takes place between World War I and II. That's basically all I know about this book. The fact that this is being told in the point of view from Aphrodite, sold. I have been wanting to read more mythological stories, and my prayers have been answered. This is Aphrodite. I want to read these stories and how Aphrodite pleads her case to Zeus, out of all people. This next book, I'm going to be very surprised if I get to it, but it's on here just because I am so curious, and I blame all of you, yes, for making me give into the hype. Crescent City, which is the first book in the House of Earth and Blood series by Sarah J. Maas. Honestly, me and Maas have a very complicated relationship. I tried reading ACOTAR. I DNF'd it 3 or 4 times already. I also read the first chapter of Throne of Glass, and that went horrendously for me. So, complicated relationship. I want to like her work. I just haven't found the right one yet. So I'm hoping that this is going to be the book. In this book, we follow our 2 main characters, Bryce and Hunt. Bryce is living it up until her closest friends are murdered, and she wants revenge and is trying to find the culprit to exact said revenge. Hunt is now a fallen angel who is enslaved to work for the archangels, which are the people that he was trying to overthrow. And he helps Bryce find the murderer of her friends in Crescent City, then he will be granted his freedom. Both of them come into an alliance where they have to go through Crescent City to find whoever the murderer is. Apparently there is a really awesome romance that happens between these two. Look, I saw some of the fan art for Bryce and for Rune, whoever that may be. I don't know what character that is in this series yet, but damn, can I have me 7 of him, please? And I will take 10 of her too, because hot damn, I blame all of y'all. I do. And that fan art, sweet Jesus. Well, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get to this month. I'm hoping I will be able to. If not, then this is for sure going into my next TBR because I'm way too curious at this point now. So Tentative, we'll see. The next book on my tentative TBR is Precious You by Helen Monks Takar. This is an adult thriller / mystery book. In this, we follow two main characters. One is Catherine, who is the editor-in-chief of this magazine, and the new intern, Lily. Catherine has just returned to work from a mental health break. She suffered from depression. Lily is an intern that comes into this magazine and is working under Catherine. Catherine is very much threatened by the appearance of Lily, and throughout the story we just get a complex relationship of Catherine hating Lily but also wanting Lily to like her because of Lily's charisma and how sharp and intelligent she is. Catherine has been in this business for a long time. However, she is just threatened by Lily, and we see the war that happens between both of them and how Lily does everything possible to undermine and manipulate situations with Catherine and her direction to make her look less than in front of all of her employees. This just reminds me of like a twisted Devil Wears Prada, except Andy wouldn't be subservient. She would actually be just as or more vicious than Miranda. I've actually started this book, and so far, Catherine is very unlikable, but I think that's the way she's meant to be. She tends to call everybody who's younger than her a snowflake. I don't know. The next one on my list is The Deep by Alma Katsu. This is a historical horror fiction novel. It is about a woman who was in the Titanic, and there was some weird things happening on this ship, and then tragically we know what happens and it sinks. Then we fast forward to when she ends up working at a different ship called the Britannica, which is the sister ship to the Titanic, which is now a hospital ship. When she was on the Titanic, she fell in love with somebody. However, because of the events that happened, she believes that this person died. However, when she's on the Britannica, there is a wounded soldier that comes onto this ship, and it turns out that it's the same person that she thought was dead this whole time. And some weird things start happening that resemble the things that happened while she was on the Titanic. First of all, the cover's gorgeous. And second of all, the fact that this is about a woman who survived such a tragic event like the Titanic sinking, and then to have her go into another ship to find out that the person that she thought was dead this whole time was still alive and survived as well, and that there might be some paranormal aspects woven into the story. This for sure was gonna have a space on my TBR for this month. The next book that's on this TBR is Sweet Pea by CJ Skews. I have no idea how to say that last name. I'm so sorry. In this novel, we follow Rhiannon. There was a famous crime that happened when she was a child, and now that she is older, that celebrity has faded, and she finds herself unsatisfied with her job in a newspaper. She seems like a normal woman, except she makes lists, and those lists are her killing lists, as in she is going to murder the people on this list. It can be for whatever reason she decides, but she makes it a point to put these people on that kill list. That's basically all I know about this book. It is about a woman who is planning on murdering people. Murdering women. I'm here for it. These next couple books that I'm going to talk about are straight horror. The first one is Rings by Koji Suzuki. This is a Japanese translated book, and it is the one that the movie The Ring was based off of. I'm pretty sure by now everybody knows what The Ring is. So if you haven't seen The Ring, it is about a deadly tape, which if it is watched within 7 days, if you do not perform a certain act, you will die. In this book, we follow a journalist called Asakawa, whose niece has just died. It is inferred that she died because of this tape. And he is so intrigued and is devastated by what happened to his niece that he takes it upon himself to try and find the origin and to solve the mystery of this tape so that way more people don't die. This is the original book that inspired Ringu, which then got translated to The Ring. I want to read where the story came from because usually the origin story is the scariest one of all. So I am so stoked to get into this spooky read. The next book on this tentative TBR is The Crimson Labyrinth by Yusuke Kishi. This is another Japanese translated work. In this novel, we follow our main character who is an unemployed math major, and he wakes up to find himself in the middle of this labyrinth, which is located in a place called the Red Planet. However, he only has two companions, a portable device, and with a woman named Ai, and he ends up getting messages on this portable device, seemingly to get him out of the labyrinth. That's basically all I know about the plot. The plot intrigued me. I want to find out what he's ordered to do on this device and what this other woman has to do with this whole labyrinth placement. And the final book on this tentative TBR is The Pillow Family Circus by Will Elliott. This has been one of the books that I have just been wanting to read, but have never been in the mood for it. And what perfect time than now when I want to read horror. Let me read you the synopsis because the synopsis just makes this book sound so creepy and just so intriguing. You have 2 days to pass your audition. You better pass it, feller. You're joining the circus. Ain't that the best news you ever got? Delivered by a trio of psychotic clowns, this ultimatum plunges Jamie into the horrific alternate universe of the Pillow Family Circus, a borderline world between hell and earth from which humankind's greatest tragedies have been perpetuated. Yet in this place, peopled by the gruesome, grotesque, and monstrous, where violence and savagery are the norm, Jamie finds that his worst enemy is himself. When he applies the white face paint, he is transformed into JJ, the most vicious clown of all, and JJ wants Jamie dead. Huh? Yeah, I am so excited about this book. I know it's weird that I am like super stoked to read something that probably has a bunch of murder and blood and gore in it, but bring it on is what I say. All right, guys, that is my tentative April TBR. Have you guys read any of these books? Also, if any of you guys want to buddy read any of these books with me, please let me know down below. I will leave all of my social media links down below. Your best bet to reach me is Twitter. That is the one where I'm most active. I'm down to read these books with y'all if you want. Let me know what you think of any of these if you have read them. I can't wait to have a discussion down in the comments with you guys. If you guys are intrigued, want to read any of these with me, let me know down below. Thank you guys for being here with me and hanging out. Please stay safe out there. I know it's a crazy time right now. Thank you guys for hanging out with me today. I hope that you guys are having a great day and night wherever you are. And I wish you nothing but the greatest happiness and the best health. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.